Well, hello there guys, and welcome to a little gameplay on Wars of Napoleon. For those of you that recognize my voice, I am the tutorial voice for the game, so I'm going to be doing a little look here at the game and what you can expect. We'll go ahead and jump into just a new game here, and I could resume an old one, but I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys basically a part of the game, a smaller scenario for you guys to enjoy. And I think we're going to start, of course, with either the Last Flight of the Eagle or just Napoleon's campaigns. This is a much larger campaign, and if you want to do something smaller, I would suggest Last Flight of the Eagle or the Son of Austerlitz. Let's jump in with Last Flight of the Eagle to get some look at the gameplay. Alright guys, so here we go. So of course you can go ahead and read here the scope of Waterloo 1815, which is of course the battle we're playing in Last Flight of the Eagle. And we're of course going to be taking a look here at the beautiful unit tiles. And guys, if I'm butchering these names, please excuse me. But we're going to go ahead and just take a look here. And the important part about this game is to understand a few different things. Now, I could do a separate tutorial, but you're going to get it through the game anyway, and you're going to hear me, so there would be no point. But let's go ahead and select a new view, and I like showing the owner of all regions because this lets me know essentially what I'm facing. Now we know that we've got a few armies here. We've got Napoleon's army, we've got Milaud's army, and we want to go ahead and start merging some of these guys without getting necessarily a penalty. So I'm going to take a look here. No penalty there for Napoleon. Let's take one more general. Still no penalty. And we might go ahead and just make Napoleon's army massive. We've got a 29% penalty here, so I'm going to try to take one of these generals, probably Milaud, and go ahead and put him back in another stack. And actually, we can make numerous stacks here using our general cards. As you can see, we've got 3-star generals, 4-star generals, etc. And these can all be used to make new armies. And as long as you can spread this manpower around, those armies are going to be very effective. So let's take a look here. 20% penalty. I think if we send one more unit of cavalry over here, they're going to be much more experienced. And there we go, 11% penalty. I'll go ahead and send one more cavalry unit, and we'll charge in. So what we're going to do here, just in this short gameplay, is we're going to show you how it works in terms of the attacks in this game and what you're supposed to do. Now, of course, we've got, if you press F1, F2, any of these buttons are going to give you all sorts of screens for replacements, laws and decrees, history of the nations, etc. Now, since we're playing a scenario, there's very little here for us to worry about. There's also the diplomatic screen, but this is, once again, a scenario, so there's very little, thank you, Java, very little for us to worry about, really. So we're going to go ahead and just take Milaud and start charging into Belgium. Of course, or actually, it's just Belgium. Are we Netherlands? Wait, let me see. We are actually in Netherlands. All right, fair enough. So we're going to go ahead and move into this area. Actually, it's half Netherlands, half Belgium. And as you can see, it's going to take 4 days for Milaud to get here, which is pretty good. We're going to take Napoleon's army, and we're going to go ahead and go to where Blücher is. And I believe he's in Namur, which is in Belgium. And of course, over here, we've got some more generals, as well as Admiral Ney himself. And we can go ahead and start merging him with these other generals. And of course, like I said before, we probably could split this Napoleonic army into several armies. We're only splitting it into 2 now, though, so you guys get an idea of what to expect in the game. So here we go. I'm taking Ney. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the posture to an assault posture if I can. Now, this is not always possible. So for now, we're going to stay on a defensive posture. We're definitely on an assault posture with Napoleon, and we will be on an assault posture with Edouard Milaud if we can. If not, that's okay. Let's go ahead and end our turn, guys, and see what happens. First, wait a minute. I'm not going to leave Bushi here. Once again, we can split these guys up, but I'm not going to put you through that. And the way we would do that is just basically I would take this 2-star general, I'd put him here, and I'd start dropping units into him. But for now, we're not going to do that. We're just going to use this to attack. So let's go ahead, guys. Let's begin an attack and see if we can't get into a battle. It would be really awesome. We're going to go ahead and hit our end turn. Sorry, let's save your turn. Let's end our turn and see what happens. All right, come on. Rolling the dice on this, and I just got a new PC, so the in-between phase is going to be a lot faster, and it definitely should. Depending on how fast your PC is, this in-between phase of waiting for the next turn could take a little while, but it shouldn't take too long. So let's hope that Blücher gets wrecked. He's in a defensive posture. I apologize, my parrot is going nuts. He is in a defensive posture, and I don't know if that's going to work out so well for us, especially since he's at a fort, but we will see. So let's go ahead and... Come on. Be friendly, please. Okay, guys, here we go. So we have begun to arrive. We've got a large army of Hill here, and Milord may actually meet up with Wellington. Now, this is one interesting thing that's different from a lot of the Age Odds games. Quite often, when you're facing the enemy here, you can choose to do what you want. And as you can see here, the enemy's power is very low, so I'm going to probably go for a major attack, an infantry countercharge, as a matter of fact, and we're going to confirm. Be careful, because there's going to be loud bullet sounds here, so prepare yourselves. So that is a French victory, guys, and we want to get a more detailed statistic of kind of what's going on in the battle. Should be here. Let me see. I want to make sure I selected it. If not, we'll look at it after the game. But we can actually look at individual units and how they did. Let's take a look here. Oh, that was bad. So if I take a look here, guys, we look at a detailed battle report, and for sure we lost this battle, losing 12,000. And look at how much Major General Sir Rowland Hill has here. So quite a lot of dead men on our side. We'll go ahead and end the turn. Of course, you can realize that generals can also get killed, although it's very unlikely. And here we go, another battle. And this time the enemy strength is 1313 in Aalst. This is actually, I'm going to be a little more careful here. I'm going to do a long, thin line deployment. No, I don't like that either. You know what? I'm just going to do mass fire. Open fire, men! Absolutely awesome. So those Dutchmen were seriously hurt, guys. Dutch-Belgians, actually, as well as a few Hanoverian reserves. And as you can see, we lost 8,000 men. The enemy lost 16,000, also a lot of cavalry. And that's definitely a bonus. That's going to add to our overall score, because in this game, you have to win based on victory points. So right now, our victory points are going to increase for every win, decrease for every loss. So as you can see here, even if you lose, you still sometimes get a, the enemy will get a Pyrrhic victory. They broke through and they killed 4,510 of our men. We killed nearly 14,000 of their men if we were to round up. So that's not bad, and that's going to damage that army slightly. They're going to have to reinforce by building depots, which is a totally different part of the game. And especially if they're out of their own territory, they need those depots to survive. Let's end the turn. And once again, another battle, 1804 versus 1952. This is going to be very close. I'm going to go ahead and do high reserve deployment, and I'm going to do call reserves. This way, I'll make sure that I bring everybody to the battle that I can, because the enemy does outnumber us. Best of luck to Grouchy. Pour la France. Daniel Grouchy! So as you can see, our Grouchy lost, and the tooltips in this game are awesome. So you can actually look at each individual unit, get their names. You can see how they did in the battle. You can see we had a medium hit probability, all sorts of stuff. And we could also see up here the inflicted hits, as well as over here, we could see the inflicted hits on the men we lost, essentially. So let's go ahead and end the turn here. And once again, now Napoleon is in battle against a much stronger army. They're going to try to ambush me, so I'm actually going to prepare to withdraw, and I'm going to do a fighting withdrawal. There we go, French defeat. But when you're trying to attack Napoleon, you're bound to lose 12,000 men. So we're going to come back and kick their ass in the next few battles. Okay, once again, guys, 533 versus 2699. I'm going to do the Grand Artillery deployment. We're going to get bombarded to hell, but like I said, I really want to show you guys how the game works, not so much win here in this first round. Alright, well that artillery took chunks out of the enemy's line. As you can see, they have 140,000 men. We've got 21,000. So the fact that we're even getting this many kills against them, it's like the 300 Spartans, honestly. Once again, Milord. Alright guys, so a lot of the other Age Odd games will go 15 turns in a row, 30 turns in a row, especially if you're playing one of the Roman games. In this game, you go 7 turns in a row, or I should say 7 moves in a row. So 7 days are dealt in that tiny time period, and you kind of have to decide, excuse me, what you're going to do. Now, one important part of the game, and I'll show you now, is building depots. You have to build depots to survive. This is how you build the depot number 1. And the reason you need to build depots is because this is what gives your men new reserves. It's what gives your men new guns, new ammunition, etc., new food. They need all that to survive. So keep in mind, guys, that's kind of just a short gameplay of the game. It's a very short gameplay. The tooltips in this game are absolutely awesome. There are an unbelievable amount of information, and if you're a history buff, this series is for you 100%, especially if you're a fan of Napoleon. In this battle, we just played a very small scenario, and of course it would continue for a few more turns, but we could play the grand campaign with Napoleon, and you could try to take over all of Europe, maybe even North Africa, if you get lucky enough. Who knows? But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button down below, and prepare to drop a comment if you can. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Have an awesome, awesome day.